Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'd like to share my article that I've read before in intensive reading class. Before I'm going to the review, let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Rodiyatul Aldawiyah. I am from 4A class English Erucation Department, Islamic State University of Syarif, Hidayatullah, Jakarta. And my 10 article, most of them talking about language, education, and economy. So this is my 10 article that make easier you to understand my presentation. So my first article is about longitudinal analysis of the connection between oral language and early reading, and from each article that have the correlation or connection with another article. So this is my first article. My first article is about longitudinal analysis of the connection between oral language and early reading, written by former peer Deborah L. Speech and David H. Cooper. So this article is about the connection between oral language and early reading, because to clarify the relationship between oral language and early reading development, the author administered to 39 children a birth rank of oral language measured in 3 areas: mid-linguistic, structural language, and narrative discourse. Measured of background variable IQ, sociolinguistic status, ethnic, gender, family, and literacy. So this article talking about the language, that especially about the oral language and early reading. So this is the connection with the next article, which is a new language laboratory program for advanced students, written by Hiii. This article tended to describe the development of new language laboratory program for advanced students at the English Language Center of the Michigan State University campus. This new program is designed to bridge the gap between manipulative classroom drill and demand of the lecture halls. Because in this new language laboratory, the author tells there are the Rodiyatul method of facility. So why I said this is have the connection with the articles before, because this is still talking about language and also about the education, right? So the next article is about a practical philosophy of pronunciation, written by Carlos Paris. And actually this article is talking about the philosophy of pronunciation, and this is still have the connection with the articles before, because still talking about the language, right? So the teaching and correction of pronunciation in EFL, ESL, or FL class is far more complicated than is intended by the usual and familiar methodological procedure usually suggested in teacher training. The author intended to discuss 6 methodical principles are discussed, which might lead to a more productive perspective in the teacher, and 10 points of approach located between methodology and technique, because there are mistakes when the teacher teach pronunciation lesson. So next article is about review of second language listening comprehension research. Also this article also have the connection with the articles before, because this is still talking about language. This article written by John Rubin, and in this article, as the teacher that recognize more and more the importance of teaching listening comprehension in the second language classroom. The author intended to discuss there are 5 major factors that researchers believe affect listening comprehension and strategy to teach second language listening comprehension. So the next article is about language laboratory lesson. So yeah, this is have connection with the articles before is still talking about listening. So when we in laboratory lesson also that's we learn about listening, right? So in this article there are four kind of practice that can be offered in the language laboratory. So the first is about AEP or audio evaluator practice, and second is APP or audio passive practice. Third is AAP or audio active practice, and the fourth is ACP or audio creative practice. Yeah, this is still talking about language and also the education or teaching. And the next is about how many are talking the role of collectivity and dialogue teaching. This article was written by Martin Saltlake and Clara Sedova, and this study deals with the impact of the teacher development program focused on the implementation of delegate teaching practice. The author intended to discuss of the program was to achieve a transformation of classroom discourse that would lead to higher quality student talk, because in this study we addressed the question of whether there is a relationship between number of student participation in classroom discourse and the quality of student thought. In other words, we ask whether the establishment of dialogue discourse benefit the class as a whole, or whether it is only a small group of students that participate in classroom dialogue in productive way. So, actually this article is talking about the role of the activity in dialogue teaching and how the role collectivity in the teaching and the role of the student and or the role of the teacher itself. So the next article is about teacher participation of the official curriculum, problem solving and reader. This article was written by John D. Division, Amirat David, Corey Directed, and Amanda Lisewald. Okay, this article is still has a connection with my articles before, because this still talking about education or is around the teaching. So this article is about the teacher perspective of the official curriculum, and the author intended to discuss this contribution to curriculum ergonomic focus on the teacher perspective of problem solving and reader in the Common Core State Standard of Mathematics, the curricular aims and objective component of the official curriculum in USA. Because this paper examines teacher perspective of the curricular aims and objective, it was apparent that another component of the official curriculum, teacher district adopted textbook, playing a strong role in influencing this perfection in implementation of this result are discussed. And this article also has connection with my next article, which is the effect of schooling family property on children's achievement, potential, and confidence, evident from Kindomani, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, was written by former Steph Humble and Paula Dixon. So actually this article still talking about the education, and especially in languages also. So this paper investigates whether people achievement, attitude, and self-confidence are associated with teacher belief with experience, school characteristic, background, and world. So this article is talking about the characteristic of the student and the effect of schooling, like that. So this article is connection with next article, because this article is about title is no one in our family ever want to collect parents' orientation toward their children post-secondary education and future occupation. This article was written by Margaret Scanlon, Fred Powell, Pat Lacy, Hilary Jenkinson, and Olive Byrne. This article, Parents and Analysis of Parent Expectation and Aspiration Regarding Their Children's Education and Future Occupation. The author intended to focus of this paper is on parental expectation and aspiration and their engagement with their children's education and plan for the future. Because our findings suggest that parents followed education as a means of scoring a good job and wanted their children to progress further in the educational system than they had. So this article is talking about want to show how the uh, how the teachers respond when the author said if the education that's important for their children. Most of the parents said yeah, the education is really important for their children actually, but that's back to cause about the money, right? So actually the parents can fight for their children in order their children get an education. Yeah, it's back how their parents. So this article has connection with next article in Islamic economy. Why I said this is has the connection? Because most of the parents want to their children get education, but it's back the problem is money. So yeah, this has connection. It's about economy versus market economy, the concept of taxation. This article was written by Farhan Musarfa Rahmi Hamid Melki. So this article briefly compressed both rationality and the method of taxation in both market economy and Islamic economy, and further elaborate on the third economy of the original Islamic tax laws. Taxation play a major role in both market economy and Islamic economy. So yeah, this article has connection with my article before, because the economy is there is a big problem for the education. So yeah, that's all from my presentation, and my conclusion is you need to read, because the read is really important for you, because you can know everything from read. So yeah, that's all from my presentation. Thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.